Hello there, welcome back. I know exactly what you're thinking. A new video? But isn't this channel dead? Yeah, I don't know, you got me. It might be. Anyway, in 2022, we watched approximately, and when I say approximately, I mean exactly, 201 movies/TV shows. Yeah, that's probably too many, but going through some stuff. So in this video, I'm going to present the 10 best things we watched in 2022. All of them are new to us. That doesn't mean they're new releases. And because you've been good, so very good, I know, I'm also going to throw in the 10 worst things we watched in 2022. For each best, I'm going to give you a very brief summary as to what it's about and why I think you really should watch it. I'm not going to go into that detail for the worst because, let's face it, it is a miracle that anything gets made ever. I don't want to rain on that parade, even if I did not enjoy particular said parade. Without further ado, the honorable mentions: The Wolf House, Weird, The Al Yankovic Story, Winnie the Pooh, Our Flag Means Death, Season 1, Persepolis, 12-Hour Shift, First Love, Knocking, Old Enough, Satan's Slaves, 10th Best, Saloum. I think it takes place in Senegal, and it's essentially a trio of mercenaries who are being pursued by something beyond comprehension. They all have very wild personalities, and the movie is not afraid to get both arty and nonsensical. It's a really good time that also touches on some really disturbing issues. 10th Worst, Night Tide. 9th Best, It Happened One Night. So romantic comedies aren't usually my bag, but this year I kind of noticed that's not the case if the comedy in question came out in the 30s or 40s. Case in point, It Happened One Night. This movie is utterly hilarious. They do not miss an opportunity to land a joke. I know it's kind of obvious to recommend the classics, but they're classic for a reason, turns out. 9th Worst, The Black Christmas Remake. The first remake, not the second remake. 8th Best, Midnight Mass. If you come from a religious background, particularly a somewhat closed-minded religious background, oh boy, this series is going to hit like a ton of bricks. I think when it comes to Mike Flanagan, Haunting of Hill House will always have perfection status in my mind, where Midnight Mass, for Katie, was sort of like looking into an uncomfortable, distorted mirror, and this one hit her much harder. Regardless of where you're coming from, though, this series leaves you with a lot to think about. It's meditative, it is chilling, it's layered, it's complex, it's beautiful. You will cry, I promise. 8th Worst, Make Mine Music. 7th Best, Come On, Come On. Hey, speaking of crying, okay, I watched this on a plane. It's a movie that touches on the feeling that fatherhood has passed you by, in a way, but also about rediscovering the joys of connecting with someone young and developing and being there for them. So absolutely recommend it. 7th Worst, My Super Ex-Girlfriend. 6th Best, Bloody Hell. If Deadpool were less smug and dropped into Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the good one, that's kind of this movie. And right away, based on that description, that should be enough for you to know whether you're going to absolutely love it or really won't be able to stand it. But oh boy, this is a fun ride. 6th Worst, Raya and the Last Dragon. 5th Best, Turning Red. Wow, it is a crime that Pixar got robbed of a theatrical release for Turning Red, but for some reason they were like, Lightyear, yeah, let's put that into theaters. Turning Red is fantastic. It is rare to see a movie that so perfectly captures the energy of tweenage awkwardness and all of the jagged beauty that entails, while still being sensitive to the various backgrounds and perspectives depicted. Also, Pixar gave us a cute little kaiju sequence, and I'm always down for kaiju, so yay. 5th Worst, Ghost Ship. 4th Best, Sissy. Speaking of generational skewering, Sissy is an absolute lambasting of the hollowness inherent to social media influencers and the concept of content, while still being a caring character study that doesn't really look down on its subjects. This is a weird movie. It's really great. Fourth worst, Kriya. Third best, Encanto. Okay, so Disney Animation ends up, on the best of and worst of list for the things I watched this year. What a year for them! Encanto, yeah, movie about generational trauma. There's something for everyone in this movie. It's great. Like, everyone's seen Encanto. I don't need to sell you on this movie, but if you haven't seen it, even if you're a crusty horror fan like me, you're probably gonna like it. Third worst, Jupiter Ascending. Second best, Seven Samurai, the movie that Westerns would rip off of for, the next 20, 30 years after it came out. The characters are fantastic, the cinematography is stunning, the tension is built so expertly, and the way they pull off the ending. I mean, I probably shouldn't stop myself from spoiling a movie from 1954, but if you haven't seen it by now, consider this your sign in the stars to go see it. Second worst, All Hallows Eve, the worst film we watched in 2022. Malatesta's Carnival of Blood. You can tell it's good from the name alone, right? Best film we watched in 2022. Everything Everywhere All at Once. And speaking of movies that I probably shouldn't have to sell you on, Everything Everywhere All at Once made me curl up and sob like a little baby. How exactly does a wacky martial arts film pull this off? Oh, I don't know. Coming out during the never-ending pandemic and global crisis, political upheaval, things that make you question whether or not this being a live train is a great one to stay on. This little movie comes out. You think it's a wacky, timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly movie. No, it's actually about depression. Settle in, and we're gonna pick at this wound. And it does so in a very beautiful way. I love this movie. I love this movie so much. How was 2022 to you? What did you watch? Will more videos be coming out soon? No. Is the channel dead? Also no. I will be taking no further questions.